So, good day, everyone. Brief history of historical fiction. So, historical fiction, as we know, it is in contemporary Western literature, dates back to the early 19th century. Sir Walter Scott, Honor de Balzac, James Fenimore Cooper, and Leo Tolstoy were among the first novelists to explore the historical setting as its own concept for a book. So, these are the famous writers and authors of historical fiction, Walter Scott and his contemporaries in other national literatures, such as the Frenchman Honor de Balzac, the American James Fenimore Cooper, and the later the Russian Leo Tolstoy, of having their works of the foundation of literary genre to be the historical fiction. In the 20th century, history fiction evolved into a diverse and expansive genre, encompassing a wide range of styles and subjects. Authors like Hilary Mantel, Kent Follett, and Philippa Gregory gained acclaim for their meticulously researched and vivid imagined portrayals of historical events and figures. So, throughout its history, historical fiction has served as a powerful tool for exploring the past, illuminating the complexities of human experience, and engaging readers in captivating stories that resonate across time and culture. So next, we're going to the elements of historical fiction. First is the character. The character could be based off or real or imaginary individuals. They typically would, however, act appropriate for the time period. So the character in historical fiction could be real or fictional, but they should all look, speak, and act in ways that accurately reflect the era where the story is. So the second way is dialogue. The dialogue must be authentic to the time period and should reflect the status of the character who are speaking. So, in dialogue, the writer should introduce some vocabulary and general grammatical structure from the time period, but they should stick primarily with words and phrases the reader is familiar with. The third one is setting. Setting, perhaps one of the most important elements of any historical fiction work. It should take place during an authentic period in history and be set in a real historical place. So, the setting is time and place. So, as a writer, you need to transport your readers into the past in the first few paragraphs. The fourth one is the theme. The theme of a novel is important to the time period. Theme needs to be taken in a context where most themes transcend history, and yet they must still be interpreted within the context of a novel of a time period. So the fifth one is the plot. The plot in a historical fiction novel is a combination of real events and fictional events. Typically, the historical events that take place will shape the plot. So in plot, you can invent characters, cities, and events, but they still must make sense to the time period on what the story you write. For example, a novel set in London, England in 1666 would benefit from incorporating the Great Fire of London, a major turning point in the city's history. So remember in plot, when considering those historical events, remember that you are telling a story, not a writing history. Then the last one is the conflict. The problem the characters encounter should be conflicts people of that era would encounter. So in conflict, the problem faced by the character in your story, as with theme and plot, conflict must be realistic for the chosen time and place. Readers would want to understand the reason for the conflicts you present.